Every team, every topic, everywhere. This is Believe.
Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Attack the Baseline, a WNBA podcast where every episode we attack our baseline knowledge of the WNBA. Kristen and John here, back, another episode, talking about not really WNBA, but WNBA adjacent. We were just at, returning from 2 hours ago, the Uconn versus Villanova basketball game in Villanova, outside of Philadelphia. And we're going to talk about all the action that we were able to check out today and do a little bit of news wrap up. There's a couple things to talk about. But before we get into all of that, Kristen, how's it going on this Sunday afternoon? I'm annoyed because Kristen has a cough drop in her mouth and she's like tap dancing with it.
I'm sorry.
It's
I'm
fine.
Trying not to slosh it around. I'm doing good. We're praying for snow here so I can have a snow day tomorrow and extend my 2-week break of no work.
Would be nice.
So what do you do? Put a frozen spoon under your pillow or something?
This is good. I used to flush an ice cube down the toilet.
Yes.
That was a big one. Put a spoon under your pillow was the other one.
Okay.
Those were the two like mystical snow day bits. Fortunately for Kristen, if her school that she works at is closed, then she is also technically not responsible to go in, though she probably will have some work to do tomorrow.
I'll have to like talk on the phone, but it's fine.
I'm hoping, in my case, that my boss sends me a message saying, the roads are going to be pretty bad in the morning. You guys can stay home. I don't expect it, but we are supposed to get more snow than we originally thought, looking at maybe 5 to 6 inches here in the Philadelphia region. I'm a meteorologist. We will see.
Okay, well, let's get into it.
Let's get big story at the hour. As we just witnessed Paige Bueckers live for the first time in this game, midway through the third quarter. You may have already heard about this on the news. She injured her knee.
Potentially.
Sir, she injured her knee. That is what she hurt.
In the moment, it was injured.
Yes.
It was actually like a crazy experience, I would say. Out of body experience seeing this happen, because she like was reaching for the ball. She's like on the ground. She's like twisting her body, but then someone fell on her leg.
Classic.
But then her leg couldn't twist, so she like twisted her knee.
Yes.
And then she's like laying on the ground, like hitting the ground, like in pain. It was so silent.
Like literally pin drop.
I was afraid to breathe in this arena. I was like, everyone went,
Yeah, there was like a full gasp from the crowd.
It was like for over a minute, 2 minutes of just silence.
Yep.
Like if your eyes were closed, you like wouldn't know anyone else was in there. Like
right,
the quietest I've ever heard a place be.
In an arena?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was packed.
Yes,
like full of Uconn fans, full of Villanova fans. I mean, there were plenty of Villanova fans there in attendance. I mean, it's their home turf. We were second row from the very top, like all the way up. We'll post a picture on Bluesky and on Twitter, which, by the way, you can follow us at ATBPod. And ATBPod _ on those platforms. Also, you can send us an email if you like it, attackthebaseline@gmail.com. But yeah, you can see kind of the Finneran Pavilion, which is the name of Villanova's arena, is kind of has a weird shape. Like you get a window that you can view from all the way up top, but you also have like the ceiling encroaching on your field of view, so you could see basket to basket, but like, I don't know, it's kind of like a triangle.
Like an upside down triangle. Like if you looked straight ahead, you were like looking at the ceiling.
Right. I don't know what you mean by upside down.
Like it was like a V, the ceiling.
Sure.
Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah. Yeah, kind of weird. But yeah, anyway, we're all the way up top, and pin drop silence. Paige gets up,
Yeah. And
limps toward the bench.
Yeah.
Everyone starts clapping. She goes right to the locker room, and they were up by 29 at that point. So you knew that her day was done regardless. They didn't need to bring her back. They needed to force her back.
Yeah.
But, there were Uconn fans behind us and around us saying, oh, that's going to be it for Paige. Like, does she even come back out? You probably won't even see her again. A good 5 to 10 minutes.
Not even.
Somewhere in that neighborhood.
Pretty
she comes
quick.
back out
Yeah.
by the end of the third. Takes a spot on the bench. Everyone does a little applause because everyone's there to watch her. Like, plain and simple. Even if you're a Villanova fan, you know that she's there today. And she sits down, and one of the athletic trainers starts working on her knee, loads it up with ice.
Yeah, she had a huge ice pack on her knee. And, like, I feel like, so the rest of the, anytime she stood up, she was, like, limping around. But I feel like it was mostly because she couldn't, like, bend her leg because she had such a big ice pack on her leg.
Sure. Yeah, no, the limping was not from the ice pack. She was hurt. She was feeling it. I am not a doctor. I do not believe that it was anything crazy serious. We did hear, fortunately, friend of the pod, Elizabeth, mentioned to us that in Gino's press conference after the game, he said that he feels like it was just kind of a freak thing. She should be fine. Paige knows her knees because she's been through this twice. I'm hopeful that she'll be okay and that it's just sort of like a mild sprain type of situation.
Yeah, I think she'll be fine.
Not anything like crazy significant, but she'll probably miss at least a game or two, I would think.
But they don't play that often.
They play like
They don't play every...
upwards of once a week.
Yeah.
Like she might miss a game.
Sure.
She could maybe be out 2 weeks. She could maybe miss 2 games, depending on what the schedule's like.
Yeah, who they're playing.
Now they're starting to play conference games, so it's like a little more, a little more important. I mean, Uconn is undefeated in their conference, but their conference is good, so they're going to want her to play if she can, and I'm sure she's going to push to play. But yeah, it was pretty dramatic.
It was so dramatic.
And she was so good.
Yeah, the rest of the game, she was great. I mean, bummer for us that we didn't get to see her at all in the fourth quarter. But the beginning 3 quarters were great.
Yeah, just my handful of takeaways, because I took some notes. Basically, like, this is not only the first time seeing Paige, but our first time seeing KK Arnold, Sarah Strong, AZ Food, all exceptional players in their own rights. I would not be shocked to see all 4 of them challenge for the W when their time is available. Sarah Strong led the way, scoring for Uconn. Early on, she had like 17 first half points. It was just so easy for Uconn to get her the ball because she didn't even seem like she had so much size compared to Nova. The only stat that Nova beat and the final score was 83-52. So Uconn won by 31. The only thing that Villanova beat Uconn at in this game was offensive rebounding because they were a little bit bigger on the offensive side of the glass. But Sarah Strong, like I said, played big. They would get her spots in the paint, and she would just have so many easy layups. They would float passes to her. She would reach up above the defender, take it, make easy make. She had a couple jumpers. She looked really good, and I know she's been like a pretty key fixture on that Uconn team. But I did like what I saw out of Sarah Strong. And focusing on, and then I think as far as like AZ and KK and Paige, the thing that jumped out to me about all of them, I mean, aside from like Paige's offensive passing, her passing was amazing.
And rebounding. I thought she was...
Yeah, pretty good rebound. And she didn't have a ton of rebounds, but the ones she got were pretty tough. All 3 of them, great on-ball defenders. Awesome defenders and off-ball defenders. Paige had her hands everywhere. in the first half. Like, you would see these passes from Nova with Paige completely facing away from the ball, and Paige swings her arm up, just knows the timing, knocks the ball away. She had like 2 or 3 blocks in the first half that were just great blocks. Great blocks by anybody on jumpers. Awesome. But yeah, her hands were everywhere. KK, so much speed, like a jitterbug player. Defensive side, offensive side too. She was basically the focal point of the offense in the second half. From the sound of it, from the Uconn fans around us, KK needs to play some more. Should be pushing to start. She was not a starter.
Okay, she didn't start.
No.
Okay.
But she was great. And AZ, I think she was the best defender of the bunch. There were several plays where I was focusing on her as a one-on-one defender with somebody from Nova and like completely locking them up. For like 10, 15 seconds. Like, there was nothing they could do outside of pass the ball away. You're not going to score on AZ. And like, I understand why they're the 7th ranked team in the country. We've only really watched 2 or 3 games this year of them, but actually having an opportunity to see them live and see how they play and how dominant they can be at times made it a great trip regardless, despite Paige's, injury and whatnot.
What else you got? What other are your notes? John took notes today, not me.
I should say on the other side of the ball, number 11 for Nova, freshman Jasmine Bosco was also very, very good.
Freshman? Oh, yeah.
True freshman. Really good handles, especially for a freshman. She was kind of like their primary offensive engine. She played point guard. She was dishing. She could shoot. She could drive. She seemed like a very, very capable player in my eyes. I don't know. Obviously, Villanova, we know, has had success at the college level of players going professional. Maddie Segrist was all over the place throughout the building.
Not actual Maddie Segrist.
Unfortunately, she was not there.
We did not see her, but her picture was all over the place.
Literally all over. Front and center for the woman side. And then you have the NBA side. You got Kyle Lowry and Mikal Bridges and Jalen Brunson. Like, obviously, there are studs.
Why is John such a hater?
I've always kind of been a Nova hater because people say that they're a Philadelphia school, but they're not in the city proper.
Ugh.
They do not count in my mind, even if they're 20 minutes away from the center of city. It's just not how I see it.
Fine.
That's my take, and I'll die on that hill. I don't care. But yes, I like. They have the ability to produce solid basketball talent, and I think Jasmine was very, very good from what I saw. The team's 7-8.
Yeah,
they're not having a great year.
No,
but like, as long as you have a quality freshman, that's good. Unless she hops in the transfer portal like all the other good players do.
Yeah,
never know.
I know, and goes to a higher profile team. No, I thought even though it was basically a blowout of a game from the beginning, it was still very fun energy. People were, as much as people were there for Paige, which absolutely they were, because there were so many Paige jerseys. Like, I don't know how much Villanova gear I saw. I mostly saw Uconn, like, shirts and jerseys. I saw one Nika Mule sweatshirt. The rest was Paige.
There was a KK Arnold sweatshirt, too.
Oh, okay. But, like, even because of that, people were rooting and cheering when Uconn got baskets. They were still, like, cheering hard when Villanova got baskets. So it was a very fun dynamic on both sides of the ball. Everyone was having a great time. People around us were all chatting about, the league and the other players. The girls next to us were talking about Juju, which was fun.
They said, who's better, Juju or Paige? I think it's Paige. And I was like, I don't know. There was also girls, I think it sounded like real crying, but I think it was a pretend crying after Paige got hurt. They were like, 2025's off to such a terrible start.
Oh my god.
You're being a little dramatic. I think she'll be okay.
Yeah, she got up. I think she's fine.
These fans are ravenous for Paige.
Yeah.
They go crazy for Paige.
Yeah.
We
could not walk out of there because all of the stairwells were just blocked by people waiting for Paige to come back out after the game was over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was they were going into the lower bowl and expecting almost like a fan meet and greet, to see the team pass by. I mean, it was like that episode of SpongeBob I said when the Krusty Krab has like a stage and they're doing a live performance and SpongeBob's a janitor and he sticks his arm out and everybody in the crowd cheers and then Squidward sticks his arm out and they completely stop cheering. It was like somebody would pop out from Uconn and everyone would go, yeah, and then they'd stop.
Yeah, Gino just walked by and everyone freaked out.
Right.
It was funny.
The winningest coach in college basketball history.
Yeah,
Gino
there you
Auriemma,
go. Mm-hmm.
Who low key, there was a moment. This is a very, very funny observation. We hit the right angle looking at Gino from way up high. He kind of looked like Gru.
The skinniest legs I've ever seen. But then he turned and you're like, oh, that's normal legs. but it was so weird. His
legs from the side, it looked like he was wearing leggings.
Leggings for sure. The tightest jeans you could wear. It was so strange.
Look, you come to Attack the Baseline for the observations. These were our observations. Had to give it to you.
Yeah. It was fun.
It was fun. We have a couple more tickets for a couple more Villanova games. Nowhere anything nearly as high profile as Uconn.
No.
Which is kind of a bummer. It would have been cool if there was another a USC visit, but that's probably.
But parking was easy. Parking was free. You love that. So I would go again. I'm not going during the week. We have to check when the games are.
Yeah.
But
ultimately, a fun trip. Our best goes out to Paige.
Yes.
Speedy recovery. Hopefully everything's good and we don't hear some devastating news on ESPN later.
Because look, she has technically another year of eligibility in college. She gets hurt this year, stays in college, and tries again.
No, that would be awful. That would be so terrible.
No, that wouldn't happen.
We need to hit bingo.
I know.
Go listen to the bingo board.
Then we don't get our free space on bingo. That would be a disaster.
Oh, I don't even want to think about it. Just get better, Paige. You're good.
No,
you're
she's
good.
fine.
Okay, so that was our experience of Paige Bueckers Live.
Yes.
Let's go real quick. Talk about some news around the league. Where do you want to go first? Do you want to do
I think
Unrivaled?
We can, cover Unrivaled. It was opening weekend, I guess, kinda. It was
haven't started playing games, but they're all there.
It was first weekend of training.
Yeah, training camp.
Practice.
Training camp started on the 2nd.
Yeah.
Officially.
So everyone's down there. They were doing so much media. They had a huge Sephora glam room where all the players were getting glammed up. They made videos of them all seeing their jerseys for the first time. They were doing lives. I was watching a Kalia Copper live where she was just doing a photo shoot and she set up the camera and doing the photo shoot on her live, which was cool. So many Instagram reels, so many TikToks. John saw Ray Burrell on TikTok.
Yeah, Ray Burrell, I think, just started a TikTok just to do stuff for the for her squad, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. It's fun. And Cameron Brink is there. Technically on
my Lunar Owls.
On a team, but not playing this year because of her ACL.
Right.
But I think she's going to be the voice of the league then because she's just going to be walking around with her little microphone, asking people questions, and she's great at it.
She is. She's really good at it.
Yeah, so she's made a couple videos which have been very fun and funny. And you can, this is when you can see their personalities shine.
Yep.
before they really start playing each other, when they're just having fun, the teams are shaken up, so they're not in their normal W setting.
Right.
So they're just like having fun with each other. And I love it. It's great.
Yeah, it's great. Kate Martin, somebody that's been doing a good TikTok collage of what she's been experiencing in the league. That's been really cool. Some of the other little things that I saw, obviously they all got to see their jerseys for the first time. Chelsea Gray's little baby, like crawling around, like touching her uniform and like pulling the drawers in her locker. It was very cute. Funny video of Jackie Young. She like saw her Laces jersey for the first time, and they ask her like, "Oh, what shoes are you gonna wear with it?" And she's like, "I don't know, but I didn't bring any shoes that match this." So that was like a very funny moment. I do think, as far as the jerseys are concerned, the Laces jerseys, definitely my favorite.
They're awesome.
Great color, great colorway. I'm trying to think what else I saw, outside of Ray Burrell. People were like joking. I don't know, as far as the jerseys are still concerned, that the players were not loving the Mist jerseys. I don't think it was like anything about the color of the jersey or anything. I think they were just like a little boring.
It's the font. You have to have a fun font, and it's just like normal Arial Mist.
Arial bold.
Yeah, so kind of boring.
Kind of snoozy. I do like that there's 3 jerseys. There's usually like a white, I think, like as far as the Lunar Owls are concerned, I think there's a white, black, and a purple. Obviously, purple and gold.
Cute.
Cool that there's like different Laces too. I think I have a white, black, and then like the tealish, greenish. It looks like Kristen said, they're all having a blast. They've all gotten moments. People on, I think on Twitter were like, where's Arike? Like, where the heck is Arike? And then there was like a huge, like, she's back. Like Arike doing a spin in the big unrivaled, like, picture booth that they were doing.
That made me laugh, that video.
Yeah. Everybody had like a moment.
It's Arike tier.
We just say, every time we see Arike, we say Arike tier, which is just a reference to somebody on Twitter that makes a tier list and like puts Arike in her own tier, the Arike tier.
No, sometimes like Sabrina's with it. Well, we didn't even say that. We didn't even announce that Sabrina was the last person.
That's true.
We never even said, because last time we talked, we thought it was going to be Bridget Carlton because she left her team in Hungary, and we didn't know why, but it turned out she just moved to a different country and is playing in a different country. But it's actually Sabrina who was the last player, who like is a great last player to announce. I guess she was unsure after the season because she was like a little bit hurt.
Well, yeah.
After the championship.
She had surgery.
Yeah. But I guess she's better now, so that's good.
Right.
So that'll be fun.
Sab and Satu playing together again for the first time since Oregon. That's fun.
That's so fun. And like apparently people are upset about that.
Right, like, oh, maybe Satu was like pushing, it's got to be Sabrina. I don't know. People are saying like, apparently saying tampering somehow.
That makes no sense.
Seems ridiculous to me.
Like when they were making the teams, they were like, how can we make these teams fun by putting people who played in college back together?
Stewie and Jewel.
They did it with Stewie and Jewel. They probably would have done it with Stewie and Satu. So, I mean, with Sabrina and Satu. So whatever. I think that's fun.
Yeah, I think it's a little ridiculous, a little over the top.
Well, I'm getting very excited
Me too.
to go to our game.
Me too. Yeah, I think it's going to be a blast.
We need to look at Airbnbs.
We do have to look at Airbnbs or hotels. We'll figure it out.
Yep.
But it's gonna be fun, and it's gonna be fast. 3 days a week, Monday, Thursday, Friday, or Monday, Friday, Saturday. Watch it. Look up Unrivaled schedule. There's a really good breakdown of the 10 weeks and when they are plugging this 1v1 tournament that is apparently going to be a huge thing mid-season. It's really going to be a lot of fun. I think the Owls are going to get it done. Let's go Owls.
I think the Laces are going to get it done.
Playing down a person doesn't matter.
The Laces?
No, the Owls.
Yeah. No, that doesn't matter.
Court and Fee have me.
Yay, I have a snow day.
Wow, live react, Kristen. School is closed.
Snow day, but I still will have to work. But work from home, snow day. Yay.
Dang. Congratulations. This is huge.
Okay.
Yes,
you also wanted to talk about Camila Cardoso.
You mentioned international players. Camila Cardoso just the other day posted a huge monster stat line. 37 points, 15 boards, 8 assists.
Honestly, incredible.
We talked about Camila and like taking the next step forward. Tyler Marsh, how can he continue to develop her game? It sounds like she's developing her game on her own time in China. Go, Camila, go.
Yeah, I'm like, obviously she can do it. And she was doing it in college, which is why she got drafted so high. Like I think people forget, and I forget, that she was drafted above Angel Reese. And Angel has just gotten so much more coverage and so much more, like, I don't want to say playing time because they both played so much. Angel got more opportunities on the Sky. I don't know. It was just like Camila.
Well, Camila was also hurt. She was also hurt.
Yeah, she was hurt for some of the season. Yeah. Well, so was Angel.
Yeah, but like Camila started the season hurt.
Yeah.
And they weren't sure if they were like going to make her the starting center when she got there. And then she got there and, you know.
Yeah. So I'm hoping that she can keep riding this momentum, that she can bring it to the Sky because the Sky need more momentum. Mm-hmm. And the new coaching staff can really learn her place versus Angel's place versus whoever else joins the team. Hopefully who knows. Mm-hmm. And they can give Camila more like unique opportunities for her because she can do it. Mm-hmm. And that's what I want to see. Yeah,
I do think like Camilla's going to be a monster in the league. She has the skill set. I'm stoked to see what a year or two Camilla's going to look like.
Right. So I'm just worried that she's not getting the opportunity to do that. But
she absolutely will.
I hope she will.
That was big enough news around, women's basketball to warrant like, okay, Tyler, time to like make sure that she's your offensive leader. Mm-hmm. Unless you get a player like Jewel to be like your primary. Who knows? But I would be shocked if the Sky were not way better than they were last year. Okay. Way better.
Okay.
I don't know what that's going to look like, but I'm just saying. Camilla Monster, lock it in. Should have put something like that on our bingo board because
we should have.
She's going to be somebody to watch.
Camilla, most improved.
Very likely, very good candidate right off rip to be most improved if she can score
Kennedy
like that.
Carter. Mm-hmm. This wasn't recently. It was one of the earliest weeks of the international season. So like a couple months ago. Mm-hmm. But Kennedy Carter was putting up like insane stats also in China.
Yep.
So, like, the Sky can be so good. Mm-hmm. They got the pieces. Mm-hmm. We'll see.
We'll see what happens. Mm-hmm. Let's think. Anything else?
No, I think that's all I really got.
Yeah, just, a quick live reaction to what we saw, seeing our first live women's basketball since college. Mm-hmm. It was fun to be in an arena that was filled with people that were there for the game.
Yeah, it was great energy. Got me back into it.
Yes.
This and Unrivaled promos starting. I was kind of, I was bored for a while.
Well, it was truly the deadest it was ever going to be.
Yes.
It will be much more live.
Oh, Caitlyn was on New Heights.
True, yeah.
Just quickly, honestly, I thought it was an incredible interview by Caitlyn. It was long.
Hour 15?
Well, she wasn't on the whole interview.
Okay, some of them were like an hour.
It really was like almost an hour. She was so like personal in it. Her personality definitely came out when she was talking about football and golf, and she's like very knowledgeable about these other sports.
Oh, Caitlyn likes golf? Really? She a professional golfer now?
No, she says she's bad at golf. I don't know.
That's funny.
I'm not watching golf. Sorry, Caitlyn. But like it was like a real conversation. Like it wasn't just an interview. Like Travis and Jason would ask her a question and then she would ask them a question. It was like really her insights about NIL stuff because they didn't know about any of that really from their own experience. But she asked them like, what would you guys have wanted to sponsor if you had NIL when you were in college? So it was just like a fun conversation. So listen to New Heights.
Yeah.
I love that pod. So
I mean, Jason Kelsey is our Philadelphia boy. Travis is, proximity to Taylor is important in this house. So there you go.
I think that's it.
I think that's the roundup for this week. We'll be back next week with more goodness. Unrivaled, as we said, starts the 17th. So get ready to actually have more basketball to talk about. If you would like to, you can send us an email, attackthebaseline@gmail.com, or connect with us on Twitter or Bluesky at ATBPod. We're hanging out there. We're talking about the news and whatever goes on in and around the WNBA. But Kristen, I am staring at the baseline. What are we going to do?
Attack it.
Attack the baseline. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll be back soon. But until then, ciao for now.